in Tuscaloosa County, the warning is over for us. This is now primarily into Jefferson County. At this point, we're
tornado
seeing
warning now for Jefferson and Shelby County. So they have verified that the circulation has tightened back up again.
So there we go. So we're getting the alerts right now. So I apologize. We have weather radios going off in all different directions and actually eye watches as well going
That's what
off.
it should be doing, right? We
Yeah.
get our multiple ways of being alerted. So.
That's right. We certainly have multiple ways here, but this is what we're tracking, and this is what we've been telling you about. So Jefferson County, at this point, you just got the alert here from multiple devices that, and make sure that if you are going to your safe place, you have multiple ways to kind of listen in, like our weather app, ways to keep those updates flowing as we track this. So now we're talking a tornado warning that includes the Birmingham area. That's why we've stayed right here on this for you. That warning now moving into the Bessemer area. That storm now about to cross right at the junction at McCalla. Let's get in really close, Jill. I want to see the velocity on this, and we're going to start here. We're going to take it road by road. We're just going to kind of go along the track. So let's start. This is where we expect the tornado to move based on the latest radar scan at this point. And that is going to be right at the junction of 459, 5920 at McCalla. So let's kind of pan on by as we look at the roadways here. There's Pinecrest. I mentioned Eastern Valley Road is right in here. If you live along Eastern Valley Road, you need to be in your safe place. And then also if you're watching me around the Bessemer Civic Center, UAB Medical West, there's McAdory, Powder Plant Road. We talked about there's Splash Adventure Parkway. If you're anywhere close to the Splash Adventure Parkway, you need to be in that tornado shelter. There's Morgan Road. As we continue, there's Highway 150, John Hawkins Parkway that runs back through Hoover. That is Highway 150. So we're talking about Pineland Park back towards Ross Bridge. In fact, there's Ross Bridge Parkway back to the Shannon community. I want you in your safe place. Anywhere along Shades Mountain, Shades Crest Road, back towards Shades Mountain, get to that safe place on this storm here. This could produce a tornado at any minute based on the rotation that we're seeing with this. Bluff Park, tip-top area there around Bluff Park, and also the Oxmoor Valley. Oxmoor Valley, there's Lakeshore Parkway. So Oxmoor Valley, Bluff Park, Lakeshore Parkway, Shannon, back towards Ross Bridge. If I'm calling your area, get to that safe place right now. Here is a live look. That storm is approaching Birmingham. We're looking back to the west. One thing that really grabs my attention, Lauren was pointing this out, the lightning really starting to ramp up here. That's looking back towards, that's actually the club. We're located right by Vulcan, WBRC Fox 6 here on Red Mountain. A live look. You can see winds gusting up to 26 miles per hour. And I just want, as far as a personnel standpoint here at the station, everyone be on standby to seek shelter here as we're included in this tornado warning polygon that's moving into the Birmingham area. We need to be ready here, folks here at WBRC, to seek shelter, and you know, we're all mic'd up. If we have to go take cover on this, we'll be right here with you and continuing to provide coverage as this storm approaches. But that is a look back to the west as we continue to advise you on this storm now that is moving into the Bessemer area. Eastern Valley, there's Valley Creek, so North Johns, the Concord area. Jill, I'll let you jump in here as well because we have lots of weather watchers in this area. I just want to try to get some ground truth and some verification.
Yes, we are going to be going to the anchors real quick because they do have some information to share, and then we will toggle back to radar. I'm watching the chat very closely, and if something changes, I'll be sure to jump on in. So we'll toss it over to the anchors real quick.
I just want to share a little bit of video we've got into our newsroom showing you the history of some of this storm, starting with that scoreboard.
Yeah, in Tuscaloosa County, just north of Samantha. It's just seeing how powerful the winds are. I think Wes wants to get back to him now to track this storm, Wes.
Yeah. We'll come back to you guys here in a second. I just want to make sure that we stay on this storm track as this moves into the Birmingham area. We could have a tornado here crossing Interstate 459 right around Eastern Valley. There is Eastern Valley Road. This is where UAB Medical West is. We want to give you that first alert, Lacey's Chapel. If you're watching around Morgan Road, get to that safe place right now. Make sure you are in a sturdy shelter, not in a vehicle. If you are listening to us on the radio. We want to make sure you are in a sturdy shelter at the moment. There's Hickory Grove, McCalla. This is the tornado now about to cross 459. Jill, do we have an updated scan on this? I want to make sure we're keeping, we've got the latest. So right there, as we scan, we're looking from different points here as this crosses into the Bessemer area. There's McCalla. There's a look at those inbound, outbound winds that we can see. So there's a look at the wind velocities, and still right there, strong indication of rotation. Let's plot the first alert times. We'll click on the storm cell identification, and we'll show you the times. It's 5:45 right now. Jill, you may need to do a manual track. I mean, this is giving us 5:47 on this around Rockdale. And Lauren can also work on some of these first alert tracks as well as we monitor this. There's Hoover, so let's get out ahead of this actually, and let's show some locations. There's 65, so this is going to be right around Alford Avenue, it looks like, off of Bluff. We mentioned Bluff Park a few moments ago. There's the Shannon community, Lakeshore Parkway to Alford Avenue. If you're out around Lakeshore Parkway and all the businesses right there around the Walmart and back over towards the Sanford area, make sure you are in that, you're in the path of this. So help spread the message, spread the word, text friends, family, let everyone know that we've got a tornado warning and a tornadic storm that looks like it's going to move right along that stretch there, just along Shades Mountain and back towards Shannon and moving towards Ross Bridge. Here's a look at the couplet. Jill's actually going into future radar mode the next 60 minutes. And you can see where this is going within the next 60 minutes, starting right here around Hickory Grove. There's 459. And if we follow along, there's Highway 150, the Ross Bridge area right here. There's Shannon. We also have the, I want to mention a few moments ago, Bluff Park and Hoover. It's right in this general area. Ross, Moss Rock and the Preserve area is right in here as well. You know where the Preserve is? That's where this is crossing. Highland Crest, Hoover, and then if we follow this, it may actually cross around Acton Road, Rocky Ridge Road. There's Vestavia Hills in this general area. So be on alert here. We've got the warning polygon that does include Cahaba Heights. It does include portions of 280. Pretty much looks like from near Grandview, actually just south of Grandview, there's Chelsea. So anywhere from Grandview Hospital all the way through downtown Birmingham, we are included in the tornado warning polygon. But this is a severe storm. Notice how the actual severe thunderstorm warning includes a good portion of the county, but you get in here really focused in. This is where the tornado is located, that southwestern flank of the storm, where we have that strong inflow. There's 459. It's now about to cross Morgan Road. If you're watching me here along Morgan Road, Bessemer Airport, back to Morgan Road, Highway 150, there it is right there. There's Morgan Road. First alert, Lacey's Chapel, Morgan Road, Highway 150. That thing is closing in right now if we have a tornado producing damage at this point. And, we were just checking in. We're going to go back to Jonathan and Catherine here in a few moments. We're getting some scenes from West Alabama. We have had some damage reported in some areas, but I'm trying to locate whether we have a tornado that's actually on the ground here. Jill, are you seeing any reports like that? What's the debris detection looking like on this?
Well, that's not necessarily when you see the colors. We're looking for an indication of a minimum, but certainly in the vicinity of where a possible tornado would be. So I'm going to just back up the time and see if we're seeing anything where that circulation was. So I'm ignoring what I'm seeing just down to the south. Now that I'm on camera, I'm ignoring this, and I'm looking closer to where that circulation is, and I'm not seeing any evidence that we have debris that has been lofted. So certainly a radar indicated still. We've been seeing on the shear rate product, it really highlights where that area of circulation is, and maybe some damaging straight line winds. Again, that is crossing right over the Morgan Road area, 459. If you are listening on the radio, you definitely need to get off the nearest interstate, or pull over, because this is, if you're traveling towards 2059, you want to stop. Because that is where that circulation and potential tornado would be crossing over right now. So again, we are not seeing any new updated reports. I'm checking the Weather Service chat frequently. Again, this is radar indicated. We've seen, again, with this circulation kind of go up and down at times, so we really just have to watch this. Again, I think the shear rate product really just highlights where that potential tornado could be in the best way. So that's Eastern Valley. We're talking about, again, that's really close to Morgan Road. This will be crossing here very quickly now. Highway 150, Ross Bridge. We're talking about an area I'm very familiar with, so getting close to my neighborhood. I'm not a fan of that right there, but again, I'm not a fan of it impacting anyone's neighborhood. So again, we're talking about this moving up towards Bluff Park. So again, you need to be in your safe place. The sirens are going off, your weather radio, your First Alert Weather app. You are in your safe place and you're taking all those with you so that you can listen and know once that warning ends if you're in the clear. But right now we're still seeing, again, that potential circulation and tornado. Now, if you're watching us in the Lowtown area, you're in the clear. Again, we're just tracking this one storm. This is the one troublemaker right now. And this one, again, has some rotation with it. It did tighten back up again. I'm not seeing any new reports from the Weather Service. Also seeing a little bit farther north, there are some stronger wind gusts near Mulga. Doesn't mean that you're still in a severe thunderstorm warning up in Mulga. So, Wes, you have an update?
Yeah, Jill. We've got quite a bit of lightning here. That lightning frequency, it really picked up here in the Birmingham area. That severe storm now rapidly approaching. These things moving at 50 miles per hour. Folks here at the station, we need to be going to our designated shelter as this storm approaches. We have a tornado warning that does include our area here through Birmingham. This does include parts of Homewood, Oxmoor Valley. This storm is rapidly approaching, and you can see the winds gusty as we get some very, very heavy rainfall. We've got a tornado warning right now. As we go back to radar, Jill, let's get in to show those roads. You mentioned a few moments ago Morgan Road. I want to mention Green Road in here. Some of those areas, at least if we don't have a tornado, we're seeing those winds now gusting over 50 miles per hour here around Lacey's Chapel. Let's just hold this right there. There's Highway 150. There's Lakeshore Parkway. So Ross Bridge is going to be right in this area. There's actually Ross Bridge Parkway. So if we look at this, there is the 65 459 junction right there, the River Chase Galleria. This is Highway 150. The Hoover Metro, the Hoover High School area is to the south. Brock's Gap Road is going to be to the south. So this is going to go just north of Brock's Gap Intermediate School. Looks like this is going to push up towards Lacey's Chapel and stay just north of Brock's Gap Road. There's Parkwood area that we told you about, and also we mentioned around the preserve and also Bluff Park Preserve. This is running right along Oxmoor Valley. We could have a tornado here or some damaging winds, a first alert for that track. Jill, if we take this on across Interstate 65 and Oxmoor Road and those strong winds, actually the winds have really picked up all along 150. You get down towards Shades Crest Road, South Shades Crest Road, and back towards Greenwood. Now this is past Bent Brook, okay? Bent Brook Golf Course. It looks like this is now moving a little bit closer here as we get over towards Highway 150. There's a look where River Chase Galleria is located again. The Hoover Metro Complex is down in this area where we have the baseball tournaments and such, and also where we also have Hoover High School. That is going to be here in this area. Hoover High School and Brock's Gap Road. There's Eden Ridge, so you can see some strong wind gusts and some rotation detected. That is running right along the interstate. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, listening to us right now, you are on the road on 5920 tracking through Hoover. Pull off the interstate now and find a place here on Highway 31. Just make sure you are in a safe shelter until this passes, because we could have a tornado in here that's about to cross into the Hoover area, stretching from Hoover back towards Camden Place. Jill, let's check out velocity one more time. Just looking to the south. Here's Oak Mountain State Park here to the south, so you see where this is with respect to you. Now, I will say, if you're watching me anywhere from Valley Dell Road back towards Highway 119, we're going to have some strong winds. We're going to have some gusty winds, some intense lightning. It's going to be a nasty storm. It's about to move through, but the actual tornado, if we have it, that has just crossed right there, Highway 150. You see, there's 150, there's Lakeshore Parkway. We're getting some intense lightning here on Red Mountain at the moment. That is tracking towards Vestavia Hills. So as we look at this, this is where we have Alford Avenue. There's Alford, there's Interstate, there's Highway 31 through Hoover. So there's where Lorna Road runs in Highway 31. And
Wes, notice the extreme now showing up. the extreme rotation or at least intense winds with this.
Yeah,
This
Jill,
is
go
strengthening.
to velocity on that one. I just want to look at this. So right in here, that's where we have, as Jill just noted, that strong rotation. That is right, Jill, this is 150. There's a Target located right here, big shopping center. That is right over Shades Mountain. That is where we have some of the strongest winds. If we track that, that is moving right in here towards a preserve. Let's go in really close, Jill. Let's focus in on this area. I want to get to these roads so we can see them, and let's stop right there. There's Shades Crest Road, Highland Crest, Alcere Road. That was one of those areas where we had a lot of that flooding. You know, you go down just below the just below where the Costco's located there, off of the exit off of 459. That's where we had some of the flooding last year that we were talking a lot about, Alcere Road, and there we go. So let's put the track on this. We're doing some real-time analysis. This is where we have the tornado possible at this point, and these times, this thing's moving at 64 miles per hour, and Lauren, I mentioned a few moments ago, you might want to help Jill, and let's try to get some more work on these times of arrival to expand those on out past 6 o'clock so we can give some folks some first alerts here. But Kenwood, 557, 558 around Forest Ridge Estates. Those are some locations. If you're listening to me, this tornado, if we have it here, is going to be tracking towards Highland Crest, Martinwood Estates, Royal Oaks, Indian Hills, Indian Lakes Estates as it moves to the northeast direction. But that's a look at where we have a possible tornado right now along Highway 150. This has developed a bit further south. I know we mentioned a few moments ago the way this is evolving. Sometimes with these tornadic storms, and Jill, we need to move this we need to pan this to the north so we can see where the tornado is located here.
We'll get there in 1 second. We have to make some adjustments real quick.
Okay, all right, so there we go. So we're going to move the maps here so we can see. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go to. They're working on some times here. We want to give you some extrapolate those times. I want to show you what it's looking like here. That storm, that severe storm, is rapidly approaching at the moment here in the Birmingham area. You can see its visibility is almost zero here, and we're getting some very strong winds here on Red Mountain at this point. As we go to radar, and I want to try to bring the radar up on this system over here. Let me see if I can access the live scan. So here we go with where the tornado is located. That developed a little bit further south. That's right about Highway 150 again. As we take a live look at this, I just want to show you some times. You can see around the Ivy Chase area, 559 moving east-northeast at 64 miles per hour. So let's go to future radar, and we're going to take this out to give you some first alert times on where this is going. So we want to stop right here, and I'll circle where the tornado is. So just follow along with me. I'm going to circle where the tornado is located, which is right here at Highway 150, Highland Crest. And if we take this out the next 30 minutes, there we go. It looks like it's going to cross 65. That's going to put this over right where the Waffle House is, right there at 31 and I-65 and the Lorna Road Junction right there in Hoover. It's going to follow that path. And then it looks as though if we continue on out at 610, there's 610, that's going to put this around Cahaba Heights. So that's going to put this around Cahaba Heights. Okay, so Lauren, I believe you got some updated times there.
Just toggling sources real quick. We're going to show you one of our other sources where we can give you the times of arrival a little bit better. Our system was just doing immediately what's happening, but you can see we have Hoover 610, we have Mountain Brook 622, we have Trussville 642. So you get the drift going out in time. This is moving very rapidly. You have a little time to react, so you better be already in your safe place, hustling there. Hopefully you're there, and this is going to be one of those systems that moves through about 60 miles per hour. So again, we are detecting with this storm a strong area of rotation. We still have a tornado warning in effect. We have it for Jefferson as well as parts of Shelby County. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Bluff Park or over Hoover, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. A lot of lightning with it. We know that's never a good sign, and it is trying to produce a tornado, and it could at any moment. So we got to really watch this, Wes. This is, you know, again, right over areas that are they've got a lot of folks that live around this area. This is Lorna Road, River Chase Galleria.
Yeah, Jill, I just want to get in here really close and just point these areas out. There's Lorna Road. There's the Galleria. This is where we possibly have that tornado right now at River Chase Galleria, Alcier Road, Bluff Park, Patton Chapel Road, right here, Patton Chapel Road. Here's Highway 31. The Publix is right here. You know where I'm talking about. The actually, it looks like it's now crossing 31, now about to cross Interstate 65 out here. This is Lorna Road that runs right through here. There's a Hoover Police Department in this area. Just trying to think of some of the there's a Hoover Range in this area. Also, we're talking about places like if you're watching me around Cedar Crest and Rocky Ridge Road, that is another area I want to give you the first alert for on the path of this. This is very close to, if we look at the map here, that is Water's Edge at Bent River. The Bent River subdivision is right in here. So Bent River, that's showing Sky Ranch. Let's move this, Jill, and just hold it for a second. Let's hold it right there. There's Altadena Woods. So Heatherwood Drive is going to be in here. So the Heatherwood Country Club is going to be close. It's going to be really close here. Looks like it's going to stay near 459 and track right along Rocky Ridge Road. The way it's moving right now, it's just now crossing where the Publix on 31 is located, right there. Also where Lorna Road is located. Also Rocky Ridge Road. I'm trying to just name as many areas I can think of here as this is going to be crossing north and east across Jefferson County, right there on the Jefferson-Shelby County line. Again, I mentioned Altadena Woods. This is Caldwell Mill Road. Those strong winds are about to impact Caldwell Mill Road. There's Altadena Woods area. If you're in Altadena Woods, be in your safe place. And Jill, I'm going to let you take over because I have some family in this area. I want to make sure everyone is paying close attention.
Definitely. We have Valleydale Road. We have strong circulation that's going to be headed towards Veterans Park, Meadow Ridge in that area, Inverness Corner. Eventually 280 will be impacted by what is a strong area of either winds or that rotation. So again, these storms are, drawing down a lot of that strong wind aloft. It's been a very windy day in general. The winds are much stronger with height, so it could draw down 60, 70 mile per hour winds with this. Again, as we stretch out the view, there's still a tornado warning in effect. There's also the possibility of large hail damaging straight line winds. So you can see off to the east, we're talking about Acton Road into, let's see, Caldwell Mill Road, and then eventually Shoal Run. You're talking about 280. You have Brook Highland, then would be next in line. Again, we have an update to the storm right there. Again, the BTI, Barron Tornado Index, remains low. I hope that that is the case, that it does not end up ramping up. But certainly strong winds detected, no doubt about that. The shear rate product will hone in exactly where the worst weather is located. Again, this is over towards Windover, Caldwell Mill Road, Camp Horn, Acton. Again, Highway 280, this is about to cross your area, Inverness, Inverness Plaza, Lake Purdy. Again, we're seeing the update to the storm. It's moving so fast. We've got some of these towns, a minute out from now. This product is unable to give us the towns way off towards the east. Wes?
Yeah, and Jill, I just want to mention to Lauren, pull up the Grandview camera and pan that back to the northwest. Have that camera on standby, Lauren. Let's watch this as it moves to the north. I mentioned a few moments ago, Jill, let's just hold this view right here. So the possible tornado has crossed. This is Highway 31 where the Publix, Benton Nissan, I mentioned around the Hoover Public Library, it's actually crossed from there. Now at Altadena Woods and Caldwell Mill Road. This is where we could have a tornado at the moment. That's Acton Road here to the north, and where Caldwell Mill meets Acton Road. This is an exit right here off of 459. There's a cancer treatment center right in this area, if you know where I'm talking about. Here's Rocky Ridge. Here's Altadena Road, and then this is Caldwell Mill. This runs back to Valleydale Road. See Valleydale? If we follow this along, this is tracking towards Lifetime Fitness. Listen up here, Lifetime Fitness around the Crackle Barrel. That's out here on 280, the Crackle Barrel area, and also around the Colonnade. That's what I was looking for. It's in the Colonnade area, and then Lake Purdy. So anywhere from Grandview Medical Center to the Colonnade, Lifetime Fitness, all the way down Caldwell Mill Road, there's Valleydale Road. you're in the most direct path here, some of these strongest winds at the moment. This is crossing Heatherwood Country Club. There we go with those strong winds there moving through Caldwell Mill Road. There is Valleydale Road at this point. Could have a tornado in here. Still monitoring reports to see if we do have a tornado at this point. Lake Purdy and the Bridgeton area. Be ready here. First alert. There's Shoal Run, and you can see that is now crossing Highway 280. There's Highway 119, Cahaba Valley Road. So Valleydale to Cahaba Valley Road being impacted. We're getting some strong winds around Birmingham. I know I was talking about the area here. I will say for folks here at WBRC, some of those stronger winds have now pushed onto the south. This has really evolved further south. Sometimes with supercell storms and severe storms, we'll often see somewhat of a right turn with these with time, but that is now crossing 280, and we're going to go to that Okay, we need to do some first alert times on this. Let's click this storm cell identification track. We want to put some more times of arrival on here, Jill. And we're showing 6:05, but just to show some communities in the path of this, Thornhill at 6:06, 6:07 around Hickory Ridge. It may be better, Jill, if we go to future radar mode. Okay, actually, so is this the latest times of arrival?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's back this out a little bit so we can see the storm. Here's a look at some of the times of arrival. There's Pell City, 6:27. Perhaps if this holds together, this might track over into St. Clair County, just showing you some times for this system in general. I mean, we're talking way out there. There's the Buc-ee's. You can see around 6:13 if this storm does hold together. But the worst of this now, and for personnel here at WBRC, just want to let folks downstairs know that the stronger winds, obviously you can see, have now pushed through Birmingham. This is where we possibly have the tornado at the moment, tracking south of Vestavia Hills. And just want to check real quickly, make sure, see what's happening here with this as it crosses now on, crosses Caldwell Mill Road in the Altadena Woods area. We're talking about some very, very strong winds in that area and a possible tornado there moving through. So I'm actually checking with my wife right now. They are, and my little boy, they are seeking shelter at this point right now in off of Caldwell Mill Road and that general area. So we're tracking that storm at this point as it moves on towards Lifetime Fitness, about to cross Interstate 280 here in Tuscaloosa. There's Birmingham. You see we have the lightning and the very, very heavy rainfall. There is the couplet right there crossing 280. Let's just hold this. Let's hold it right there. There's 280. There's Lake Purdy. There's Bridgeton area. There's Highway 119. This is going to be moving right towards Lake Purdy, Brookmont area, and 459. And you can see Kemp Horner Road and Caldwell Mill Road now almost in the clear. If we do have a tornado now, that is more to the east at this point, over towards Inverness Corners. We're talking the Colonnade. There's, if we look at this closely here, trying to find Highway 280. Let's see, there's 31. And I need, okay, here's Highway 280 right here. Let's go in right at 280. It looks like the summit. That's where we got the closest view. Do we have that view from Grandview Medical Center, Jill, that we can pull up? Because we should have just a straight view of this thing from Grandview Medical Center. So let me go to the other camera. So this is looking towards the summit. And, well, it's dark out there, so we've been on here for a while and just tracking in storm tracking mode and at 6:07. You know, the one thing we look at, you can see that the visibility, it's improved a little bit. The rain's kind of backed off, but that is the area. If we do have a tornado with this storm, we're looking north towards the summit. A lot of folks still out there on the road. I mean, we have an active tornado warning right now. I see folks there on 280. I just can't stress enough. You know, if you're in the path of these storms, these tornado warnings, you know, try to find a nearby shelter, pull off the road, find a safe spot until these things pass. You know, we hopefully they won't drop a tornado, and so far, just from some reports I'm getting there around Valleydale and Caldwell Mill Road, I'm getting some reports, some folks I'm checking on, at least things okay so far, but I'm sure we'll get some more information in a lot of various platforms, and a lot of folks out there following us here on WBRC as we track these storms through the area. So at this point, things moving quickly. We We have the tornado warning that does include northern Shelby County and parts of Jefferson County. There's Heatherwood. That storm is now past. It's around Lake Purdy, the Bridgeton area. We just took you live there. You could see the view from Grandview, and actually power still on in those areas as this passes on by. Let's put a track on this. We'll press the storm identification marker, get some of those times that we will bring up for you, show you the path. Actually, we're going to do a manual track on this, and we'll show you the time. So there's 6:09, so we're looking at 6:10, 6:19 around the Donovan area and the Winburn area. You can see around 6:17. So those are some of the locations. There's Donovan there in northern Shelby County. If we continue to track this along as it's moving north and east. Irondale, this is staying south of you. We've got some very heavy rain happening. Lauren, what are you hearing there from the National Weather Service?
Hey Wes, well we are just now seeing our friend John DeBlock of the National Weather Service has confirmed that this has indeed moved over Highway 280. So as Wes was saying, right around the area near the summit. If you have any friends or family who live near there, we are definitely seeing some strong winds associated with this, possible damaging wind gusts. And we've been looking at our First Alert AccuTrack. The product we're looking at right here is the shear rate. And meteorologist Jill Gilardi was mentioning this earlier. When you see those higher values popping up here where you're seeing the reds popping up right over Lake Purdy, that doesn't necessarily mean that, even though this is a tornado warning, it may not necessarily mean that there is a tornado, but we can guarantee that there are some strong winds with this. And you can see this is moving right over Cahaba Valley Road right now, still pushing off to the northeast at 65 to 70 miles per hour. So if you have any friends or family who are in the path of this near Jefferson County, getting into areas to the north and east of that, maybe along Eastern Valley Road, they need to go ahead and get into their safe spot, because you want to treat this like as a tornado warning, that it actually is a confirmed tornado. Even though it has not been confirmed yet, we still want to take this storm seriously, because straight line wind damage can be problematic in its own right. And so as far as the National Weather Service, we're not seeing any recent reports, but this is the main storm that we've been watching. If we zoom out here and look at the big picture, this is really the only storm of interest. Now we're still watching this main line on the back edge of the storms that were coming through earlier. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this. You've got torrential rainfall associated with it as this pushes eastward, but you also have that potential for rotation within this line. But damaging wind gusts are a big story. As we've been saying today, you had all of these damaging winds, strong wind gusts, tropical storm force wind gusts in some situations, greater than what we were seeing than when these storms moved through. But the one active tornado warning we have right now is in Jefferson County. And so as of right now, we're not seeing anything from the National Weather Service about this potentially being extended, but it looks like the main area that we're watching for potential rotation, where you see this inflow notch right here, is right near Bridgeton. And again, it looks like this is close to Cahaba Valley Road near Greystone Crest. So this is now crossing to the east of 280 and is east of the summit right now. So it's moving into northeast Jefferson County, and it looks like it's going to be running parallel while it's in Jefferson County to Bear Creek Road. So as it moves off to the northeast, we're going to be keeping an eye on this. I will say one thing, if we pull back up the lightning, we aren't seeing quite as much lightning as we saw on it earlier. And as we've been telling you, a lot of times when you see the lightning get really intense with these storms, that tells you right there that the storm is intensifying. So I think that's a good sign that we are still seeing not as much lightning as before. Nevertheless, this is still a dangerous storm, because we've been mentioning you've got that potential for straight line wind gusts with this and torrential downpours. You don't want to be out on the roads tonight, even if you aren't under where this tornado warning is and severe thunderstorm warning that also includes Jefferson County. Look at that line of rain. Once this comes out of here, there's still another line of rain that's going to be moving in. So we do want to give you the first alert for that too. What I'm going to try to do right here before I send back over to Wes and Jill, I'm going to try to get a time of arrival, that first alert time of arrival on this main line that we are seeing right here that's moving across. Because like I said, even though you could be seeing the potential for those strong storms right now, you also have to watch for maybe some of these storms as they come in, that they could have that straight line wind damage and heavy rain on the backside of things. So this is kind of giving us a look here at over the next 3 hours as this moves through. What we're going to do is fix this. Sometimes it can get a little iffy on exactly how far this goes, but this kind of gives us a general idea over the next few minutes. We've been having some issues with our storm tracks here, but what we just want to make sure that you are doing at home is paying close attention to this and knowing that even once this storm that moves through the Birmingham metro area passes to the east, we've still got some heavy rain on the back side of this. So going forward to tonight, you definitely want to stay off the roads if at all possible, because it's going to make for some treacherous travel. And we're going to pass it back over to Wes now, who has an update for us.
Yeah, Lauren, let's go back in really close. Let's clear some of this off the screen. Let's get into Jefferson County. We actually have a real good track on this here as we monitor this storm that's moving through Donovan. Let's take the lightning off. Need to back this view out just a little bit. So we've got leads. Let's zoom in right here. This is where the tornado is located at this point. Now, looking at this, the storm, I will tell you, just from reflectivity, doesn't look quite as impressive as what we were seeing early on. Here's Eastern Valley Road. There's Donovan Valley Road. There's Battleground, Brentwood Hills. Let's actually back this out just a little bit. This is Highway 119. I just want to see where we're located here. There's Mountain Brook. So the worst of this, based on what I'm seeing, has crossed. There's 459. Overton Road's in here. Sickard Hollow Road is right in here.
Confirmed tornado now, Wes. Confirmed tornado over Vandiver. Or near Leeds.
Okay, so we got a confirmed tornado here. So the worst of this has passed Sickard Hollow Road and Overton Road. Now, as Jill just noted, the Vandiver area. So if you get out here along Bear Creek Road, there's Eastern Valley Road. Here's Bear Creek Road right here. So this is where we're seeing the tornado now. This is where we've got the rotation, and we need to make sure we're getting the latest scan here because we're getting reports here from the Vandiver, Donovan areas. We gave you that first alert a few moments ago. You can see the rotation showing up. We're still seeing that evidence with this. So we do have some damage, which, you know, we've got some straight line winds out of this, very potent straight line winds, and those damaging straight line winds could be crossing here around Highway 25 as well. There's a lot of spin going on. What's happening, the Weather Service noted that there's a very thin region out ahead of this storm where we still have the instability, where we still have the ingredients for severe weather, and that's why the southern part of this storm, it just kind of keeps intensifying, kind of riding along where that instability is located. But we're going to stay with you. It's moving east-northeast at 59 miles per hour. We have a tornado warning right now for northern Shelby County. The way this is moving towards Lawley, and I believe we've got a microphone there that we're hearing. The Lawley area and Stewart's Crossroads as this moves to the north and east. There's Donovan and the Winburn area and Oak Crossings tracking to the north and east direction. Highway 25, the Vandiver area. You can see that Bear Creek also right there in the path of this tornado as it moves to the north and east. So Oak Crossing, and folks, if you're listening back in the control room, I think we have a microphone. Just want to pass it along. Oak Crossing, Winburn, Donovan area, Highway 25, and the Vandiver area moving to the north and east. Make sure you're in a safe place. Jill just reported we have reports of damage. Jill, let's put this in future radar mode next 60 minutes as we track this along. And let's go out and show where the tornado is located right now. And we kind of have to, every time we click this, we kind of have to reset it and go back to the first frame. So here we go. We're going to give you the 60-minute advantage here, the first alert times. There's Donovan. Here's the tornado crossing right there around Vandiver and then moving towards Wolf Creek. Pell City, we said a few moments ago, if this holds together, it's going to follow that path there if we continue to see a warning with this. But it wouldn't surprise me, Jill, if this actually developed further south over towards Cropwell and that general area. You know, if you're Pell City and especially south of Pell City towards Alpine Bay, be ready to take action just in case we have a warning issued any minute that may include parts of Talladega, St. Clair counties, because the way this is developing, it kind of keeps developing further south with time, this one particular storm. Live look, let's go to the wide view and we will reset this. A lot of rain for most areas and the main axis of rain and storms now moving through. For folks that have been watching along Highway 280, you're in the clear now over towards Valleydale Road we were talking about, you are all good. The worst of the weather is now pushing over towards Vandiver. It's moving north towards the Dunavant area, Sterrett communities, and those places. Vincent, this is north of you. If you're watching me here in the Vincent community, this is moving over towards Calcis. That's another area I do want to mention here in Shelby County. You are in the path of this. The Bear Creek area and points to the north. You need to be in your safe place. All the way up to Pell City. This is moving near Leeds. It looks like parts of Leeds impacted. You see there some strong winds, heavy rainfall. There's Dunavant. There's the path, which puts us right towards Pell City. Coal City, this should stay mostly south of you. Shady Acres, the Margaret. We're getting some heavy rain here around Margaret. But at this point, Jill, looks like Birmingham now, we're out of that warning. It's just that one southeast part. You get out around Leeds. I mentioned Overton Road a few moments ago. Even past Overton Road, past Liberty Park, it seems like most of this now about to actually move into, well, there we go. We got a new warning, Jill. That includes St. Clair County. So here it is. Pell City, we're included in this tornado warning, but just keep in mind, if you're watching me around Cropwell and these areas, this southwest flank of the storm, that's where we've had the greatest concern for a tornado here. There it is. You see that strong rotation. We're going to get some winds out of this. Brompton, if you're watching me around the Cook Springs exit and those places out around Bald Rock, make sure that you're prepared for some strong winds gusting over 50 miles per hour, maybe some large hailstones. We had some hail reported here over in the Tuscaloosa area. Kevin Nelson, one of our weather watchers at Inverness Cliffs, reported a lot of rain and wind with this storm so far. We're getting some ground truth coming in from our weather watchers. As Jill reported, there was a report of some damage there around the Vincent area from this particular storm, but the Weather Service, they have opted to continue this warning. And Brett Adair said a major traffic backup from Leeds to the 2459 intersection due to accidents. So we've got a lot of folks out here on the interstate. We've got major traffic delays and traffic congestion in a path of where this tornado is located out here. Looks like that is right there at the I-2459 intersection. So actually, it looks like the worst of this passed just south, but we've had some heavy rainfall. I mentioned a few moments ago, if you were listening to us on the radio, we're on iHeart radio stations with continuing tornado coverage here across the state of Alabama, giving you that first alert. Wolf Creek, Stewart's Crossroads. Want to make sure if you're in a vehicle right now, you're getting to a nearby shelter, whether it's a business, gas station, just pull off the road. Make sure you are out of a vehicle. Don't seek shelter under an overpass in this situation. This is going to be closing in on the interstate, very close to the interstate here. It looks like around Pell City as this moves to the northeast direction around Wolf Creek now. Eden area, there's the Chula Vista exit I told you about a few moments ago. Chula Vista and Cook Springs, places like that, you're in the path of this. There's Stewart's. Jill's working the radar here, showing you all the communities in the path. And it looks like the way this is tracking around Pell City and the Glen City area. And I believe we have a live view. What are we looking at here, Jonathan?
I-22 there, Wes. That's where we had an 18-wheeler flip over right there in Walker County, Jefferson County area. That's our Lyndon Blake's up there right now. We've got reports of multiple 18-wheelers flipped over on I-22 by those straight line winds, possible tornadic storm. That's one of those 2 or 3 you're tracking in a row. We know it tipped over several of those 18-wheelers with those strong winds. This is an example of one of them, and it's blocking some traffic on I-22 there. First live pictures of some of the wind damage we've seen.
And just another reason you do not want to be in your car when we are in this severe weather outbreak that we're having right now. I mean, these strong winds, heavy rain, you need to pull over, possibly get into a convenience store, as Wes and Jill have been saying all day. It is just not safe to be in your car when you're under a tornado watch or warning. No reports of any injuries. Again, this is I-22 exit 81 to 85 around the Jefferson Walker County line right now, where our Lyndon Blake is staying dry in her car right now, but getting some good video of just one of the multiple reports of 18-wheelers being blown over.
Lyndon, can you hear us? Okay, I'm not sure we can actually get her. Yeah, Lyndon, can you hear us and tell us what you're seeing out there? Okay, she may not be able to hear us, but she is giving us those pictures. Again, we've got a crew in Fayette County as well on County Road 46 showing us some of the damage there. That was a tornado, of course, really that kicked off this afternoon of storms. Our Vincent Parker and our WBRC storm tracker actually there in Fayette County right now. And then we have several other crews, one in Walker County, one in northern Jefferson County, of course, coming back this way because we've had what we think was a tornado pass over one of the most heavily densely populated parts of our entire viewing area, that corridor along 459 through Hoover over to 280, and now, as you said, west heading towards St. Clair County, where the tornado warning continues. And this is what at least straight line winds, if not tornadic winds, can do to some of those big vehicles on I-22. Of course, a very popular interstate connection between Birmingham and Memphis and points farther to the north and west. And as you see a crane crew there, those first responders are out in the middle of all this trying to assess this damage, get these things righted back. We're going to tell you, we talked to Jefferson County's EMA as well, who say they've got several reports of damage, but they are just basically swamped right now. So we're going to wait to get back with them and get more specific reports of where that is.
And we got another report of an 18-wheeler that was flipped over at Flat Top Road at Big Sky Landfill. That was from the Adamsville Fire Chief earlier this afternoon. He says it was due to the high wind there. His guys were getting on the scene, and he did not know if anyone was hurt.